It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Divas That Care. My name is Candace Gish. If this is your very first time tuning into the Divas That Care, a huge welcome. We are now in over 34 countries around the world. We've been doing this for over 15 years, and we are having a blast. I want to let you know that we have so many amazing hosts and guests on the Divas That Care, and please go check them out. Check out even our past recordings because they are so inspiring and uplifting, and we just love to collaborate and showcase those amazing individuals that have graced us with their presence. All right, everyone, we are now starting a brand new series for 2026 for the Divas That Care, and this series is Determined, Not Distracted. And I'm so excited about this. I'm going to be interviewing my very first guest of the year. Her name is Bonnie Strati, and I am beyond excited to be able to get to know her. And I think you guys are going to love her. So welcome to the Divas That Care, Bonnie.
Thank you, Candace. Wow,
I am,
number one.
you are number one for
How
2026.
exciting.
Well, I'm so happy that you've joined me today. But Bonnie, before we kind of start, would you mind introducing yourself to our listeners today?
Sure. Well, as you said, I'm Bonnie Strati. I reside in Greenwich, Connecticut. I've lived on the East Coast my entire life. I've been in the fitness and wellness industry for well over 40 years. Branching off into recovery is one of my main strengths right now, and trying to branch off into some coaching and things like that, working with people, but always wanting to inspire, help, and my business name is Built Stronger from the inside out. So getting really to the deep core of what's inside you and knowing that you have the strength and the power within you to rise above whatever stands in front of you.
Love that. How did you get involved with that? What was the pivotal point that you decided to get into coaching?
You know what? I think it's just been a natural evolution from the personal. I became a personal trainer back in 1990 when it was kind of for the rich and famous. But my mentor was a chiropractor who looked at the body as a whole unit, right? So whenever I was working with clients, it wasn't just their physicality. How do we make them stronger physically, or how do we make their body shaped better? It was, what was your sleep like? What's your stress levels like? What's your nutrition? So from there, it just kind of evolved. I got into some Reiki healing, things of that nature. And now the mind really fascinates me. Matter of fact, I'm studying hypnotherapy as we speak. So it was just the kind of the evolution and the desire to continue to learn and never be satisfied with where I was in the industry.
I really like that. And you had mentioned the evolution. I want to talk a little bit about that because you said you started in the 1990s. How has it changed?
Oh, yeah, a lot based on a lot of science. We bring a lot of science into the wellness industry, more so than we ever had back then. And the research and everything that everyone's doing in regards to the science is just, every time you turn around,
Well,
there's a study going on.
and everybody's always talking about it. There was always this
Yes.
big thing. I think since the 70s, everybody's been talking about health in a different way. Let's exercise, let's do this, let's do that. But it's really, I've seen it has an evolution of some sort, but I don't know how it kind of, where did it just explode? Like, that's the part that I find very fascinating because it's like overnight, it seemed like it's everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. Um, that's a really great question, and I'm not quite sure I have the answer for it. But the industry moves so quickly, and you have so many fads that come in and out. And I think it's the ones that aren't fads, that stay tried and true, that people fall back on and rely on. People
Mhm.
always go off and try a new trendy thing to see if it lasts, see if it sticks, see how it fits for them. But I think what the evolution has become also is that it's a lot more unique to individuals, whereas it was more before kind of a general population sort of thing. And now there's so many more individualized programs. So people are getting exactly what they need for their body, their lifestyle, and who they are in order to help them see results.
That's fantastic. So tell me about your personalized life coaching. How does this work? So for an individual like myself that would be perhaps in Canada, you would do a lot of virtual stuff with them. How do you plan a program for them?
Well, it starts off with initial consultation or to make sure that we're a fit for one another, because just like any other thing, a doctor, going to whomever, a psychologist or something like that, if you don't have that right alignment with each other, it's not going to work. So making sure that you're aligned, and then working with them on a weekly basis based on what their goals are, what comes up, and working through whatever challenges that they're facing, with many different modalities, a lot of different tools in
Yeah.
the toolbox.
And that's what people are looking for now. And with 2026 here, a lot of us are trying to figure out our goals, but now I'm distracted and I feel like I'm a failure. How do you work with people like that?
Yeah, I think I look at it more as not so much a goal, but what is your intention for the year? So I tend to try to take a more gentle healing approach to life, rather than these hard, fast, steady, I have to hit, X amount of weight off by such and such a date. And most things within the human being are they're trial and error. So, and in that trial and error is the essence of where we really get to um, learn who we are at the core. So it's really being able to sort of unravel those layers and give them the opportunity of setting that intention, working towards the intention, and then if there needs to be little tweaks along the way of that intention, you make the tweaks, and then honoring and celebrating all the small successes along the way.
It's fantastic. And I love that because it's hard and the little wins are the most important, I think, because then they help you keep going.
Yes, 100%.
So
And
Bonnie,
people tend to look for the big things, and it's those little things that are just they're so sweet, they're so juicy.
and they're wonderful and they just lighten your life. I love it. So Bonnie, you have a book that you wrote. I would love to learn
Yes.
more about this amazing book because now you have another book that's going to be coming out too. So it'll be number two. But why did you decide to become an author?
Oh, somebody asked me this yesterday. I went out to dinner with a good friend of mine. He's like, what inspired you to write a book? And I said, ever since I was a little girl, I loved books, and I was like, I'm going to write a book one day. And I started writing blogs probably about 2017, 2018. I was working with a coach, and for me, as a female, I my voice was taken from me as a child, right? A long backstory to that, but it's years and years and years of working with therapists and coaches and things like that to overcome that and believe that I have something to say that would be inspiring to people. So I started writing some blogs, and then last January I was working for a corporation, and I got fired. And in getting fired, I turned to writing, and I just wrote and wrote and wrote everything I was feeling. I put it into blogs and everything. And then in March, I was in Florida visiting my mom, and a good friend of mine that I had done a life coaching course with reached out to me and he said, I have a favor to ask. I said, sure. And he's like, I just finished my book and I'd love for you to write the forward. And how honoring is it to write the forward for someone's book? So he sends me a copy of the book, and I read the book, I write the forward. But that little ego inside of me said, well, if he can write a book, I can write a book. And then people had always told me you should take your blogs and put them into a book. And that's literally what I did. I used AI and I threw all of my blogs into AI and said, let's take these blogs and formulate it into a book. And with the help of, because it would have taken me probably about 2 years to do all that editing, and it just kind of digitally did what I couldn't do manually. And I released it in the beginning of June.
Oh my gosh. So tell us a little bit about this book.
So the book is actually called Built Stronger: The Art of Becoming Whole Again. And it's a book that does not have to be read from start to finish. You can just pick up a chapter that resonates with you and read it. And it's kind of all about the crappy things that happen to us in life that give us, that allows you to see the underlying nugget of positivity that comes from it. I had just picked it up before I jumped on with you, and I'm managing something in my life right now, and I hit the chapter on. Let me just find the page again. Sorry. It's one of my favorite chapters. It's called Truth Be Told, Freedom Awaits. Right. And it's where we really underlyingly know the truth about something, but we don't want to see it. And then when we do allow ourselves to see it and understand it from a more logical perspective, and we're able to let it go, what comes into our life after that is absolutely amazing and couldn't have happened if we weren't able to let go of that initial thing that was holding us back. And then it
So
gives an opportunity for like affirmations or journal prompts. There's actually a journal book that goes with it, a companion book as well. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
no, please don't. I was just going to say, who is this book for?
This book is for anyone who it's for anyone. Anyone who has challenges, is going through a transition, things of that nature. So that a lot of people, I think my sister-in-law had said, there's just so many wonderful nuggets in it that you pick up. And I have people that my old coach even picks it up and reads it and finds something new, or is able to see themselves in a different light after reading certain chapters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's for anyone that needs some deep healing, but it's a very gentle way of looking at it.
I like how you explain that. Thank you. And
Thank
you decided to write another book on top of that right away.
you.
So
Yeah.
tell me what this new book is going to be about and when is that going to be available?
Okay, well, the new book was inspired by my diagnosis of stage 4 esophageal cancer last year. Ironically, Built Stronger was published a week after I started my treatment. And it really, Built Stronger kind of gave me a boost of adrenaline to help support me through my treatments. And then because writing is so cathartic for me and it really helps me process my feelings and be able to see them and put them into a different perspective. And when I was diagnosed, I got this download that I was literally told, this was put on your path for a reason. You're to honor it, embrace it, and experience it. And it was one of those moments where you kind of look up and you go, what? Excuse me, you want me to do what? Aren't I supposed to be angry and crying? And I literally was like, okay. And I ended up writing through my entire treatments. I'm still going through treatments. And so this book is called Finding the Calm in the Chaos of Cancer: How Cancer Made Me Happy. So as someone who goes through any kind of debilitating disease or chronic disease, there's so many challenges that we face. And I try to put it in perspective and allow people to see the little gifts in those moments of, my hair fell out and I knew it was going to fall out, and I had really long, luscious brown hair. And, in those moments, it's like, who am I without my hair? And then as it starts to grow back, adding, my little humor in of, oh, I'm a human chia pet now. And then the excitement of watching it start to grow back. So it's
Yeah.
it's those moments, and it's I'm not looking for it to be that bestseller. I want it to reach the people that will feel held and supported in reading it and know that they're not alone in what they're feeling.
I am so excited that you came on our podcast today because I really think that the books that you have wrote are going to inspire so many people. And our Divas That Care tribe, our network of amazing individuals, they love to share that and they love to collaborate and they want to be a part of that journey. Um, how can our listeners get copies of these books? How can they go out there, read them? How can they go and share that with others?
Built Strongers on Amazon currently. And the newest book is at the editor as we speak. I'm getting the cover work done. So I hope to launch that. I hope to publish that one towards the middle to end of February. And that'll be out on Amazon. And then I'd like to get it on other sites as well, but they can definitely be found on Amazon.
Perfect. And Bonnie, can you share your social media with our listeners so they can go check out your transformational life coaching page? I do know that there's like a media, you've got your blog on there, and they also have a link on there too that they can purchase your book, correct?
Yes. And my Instagram is Bonnie Strati. My Facebook is Bonnie Strati. Very, very simple. Try
Perfect.
to make life easy for everybody.
You know what? Simple is always better.
Yes. Yes.
And for our listeners too, I will be posting that on all of these links here. So if you're looking at a recording, the information will be on those also. So Bonnie, one of the things I love to ask our listeners is there any tips out there? Like I know that with our podcast series, Determined Not Distracted, is there things that you can maybe share with our listeners to help support them with their journeys that they're going through?
I I'm one of those people that is tough as things get for me. There was this underlying feeling that I will always be okay. So it's trusting and knowing that no matter what happens, you will always be okay. And this journey for me was a lot about learning to um, reach out and ask for help, right? Because I'm always the giver. So it's a good thing to ask for help when you need it, and to not be shamed or feel shameful when you need to ask for help, because it's human nature to want to help other people. So you'll find that when you do ask someone for help, they're incredibly receptive to being there to support you.
Bonnie, thank you. Thank you for sharing that because I think it is a challenge. And I think also being a woman, it's even more of a challenge for us to ask the help. And for you to say that, it's wonderful. It's something that I've always struggled with, to be honest. No matter what I'm going through, I don't like to ask for help. So I like it that it's almost like you're giving permission, right? It's okay.
Yes.
You don't have to feel
Yeah.
guilty.
Now, guilt is, to me, it's a wasted emotion, to be honest, but people
Hmm.
do feel guilty, and you really have to work. I've worked for 40, 35 years of reframing everything in my head to the positive. So it's it's a practice. It's like everything else in life. Nothing needs to be purpose perfect, but the more you practice it, the better you get at it.
It becomes that habit.
Yes.
And they
Yes.
say that you succeed when you build up a habit. So I guess every day,
Yes.
guys, we have to do that. It's okay.
Yes.
Oh, Bonnie,
Exactly.
this has been such a wonderful conversation. I've really enjoyed listening to you. I am so excited. I can't wait to go and read your book. I can't wait to share your book. Bonnie, I hope that you come back on the Divas That Care again.
I would love to. This is fun. You're amazing.
Well, it's wonderful having guests that really inspire and share with others, and that's what we've always been about, is how can we collaborate? How can we get to know people? And I'm just so thankful that you've come on and shared your story today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And for all of our amazing listeners out there, as I was mentioning, I will be posting all of Bonnie's information on our social media. We're going to share the crap out of this. We're going to get lots of people to check it out. I know that you guys are amazing, so please do that. Like, share, and comment on this podcast. And remember, guys, to do something kind. The world needs a lot of kindness right now. It's that ripple effect. So we want to promote as much kindness as we can. So thank you so much to my amazing guest, Bonnie, and thank you to all of our listeners. And thank you for tuning into this podcast about determined, not distracted. Until next time, everyone.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.